Alrighty, there's a couple, well, not a couple dreams. It's one dream that I had twice, not even a whole dream, just a flash of just like a quick little segment that only lasted a few seconds, and I just recently had it again. I don't know, 2, 3 couple days ago. So, and when the first time I had it, this was the second time. The first time I had it, it was I don't know, months ago. So I don't know how many months ago, but a good enough chunk of time. And I never talked about this because, well, first of all, I didn't quite understand it yet, and I still don't. But God gave it to me again, so He's wanting me to share it, even though I don't quite know. I guess the thing is I don't really know the science behind it, but God's showing me, obviously. Okay. So, now when I had it the first time months ago, I also, kind of around the same time, I can't remember if I was aware of the Morgellons yet, but definitely the chemtrails and, I believe the filament drift of it and stuff too, because of so I'll tell you the first one that was well, I don't know if it was first or not, but it was right around the same time I had the first little dream segment that I had repeated. Okay, so I think I was taking a nap, and I was dreaming that I was in my bedroom where I was actually indeed taking a nap, and it just seemed kind of like in between. I don't know. You're dreaming like you're in the same room that you're in, and it's daylight, just like it was when you fell asleep to take your nap and everything. So all the elements seemed really like I was awake, but I was, in my dream. But I just remember feeling like I had was waking up from my nap, and I was just kind of looking. Even though this was a dream, I was feeling as if I was waking up from my nap in my dream, and I was looking at the light fixture on the ceiling, and this little like web thin like white string thread like that would come out of a silkworm or something, or a spider's butt, what, just like shot out of the light fixture somehow, because they have to cut a hole in the drywall and put the light on there and blah blah blah. So it's like there's a hole behind there. Okay, so I just went like, huh? And it was kind of right around the same time I had this. Okay, the one that I had twice was I'm dreaming that I'm on a bus, because I'm looking out this big window and we're driving down the street. We pull up to an intersection. So as I'm on the bus, and I can tell because there's like other people, but I'm on the side where the window is, so I can see really well all the chemtrails and everything. And so we're just traveling down the street. I'm gazing out the window the whole time, looking up, looking at this chemtrail, and it's getting, as we're going, and I'm watching it the whole time, and it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. It's just a straight line, okay, and it's like, starts out kind of thick, it's straight and thick, and then it's getting thinner and thinner until a little string. As we're driving, I'm watching the chemtrail, and there's no plane spraying it, it's just a chemtrail that's hanging in the sky. And as we're driving, it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And then when we pull up, right as it gets to and so my eyes just following it, I'm not seeing anything else, I'm just looking right at the chemtrail. And as we are pulling up to the intersection to stop, that's right when the chemtrail comes to a little, basically little tiny thread at that point. And right when we stop, I see it goes right into the end of the end goes right into a utility pole, the top of a utility pole, because we come up to an intersection, there's the utility poles all over with the wires and everything, and I'm just following the chemtrail, and it goes boom, right? The end of it is like as thin as a thread by that time, and it just goes right into the right into the utility pole. So and I was kind of wondering, how are they getting specific different areas across the country? It's not like, there could be a gray blanket over here, and then over here we're having clear day, but it's chemtraily, and then over there they got like a weird, those punch out. Okay, so how are they doing all these different things all over, like different little micro climates kind of basically, but so I don't know if that was an answer to that question. I don't know. I'm not sure how it all works. I don't really care. There's all the science, see, whatever. But definitely, because I had that same sequence twice where I was on the bus and then watching the chemtrails, came to the utility pole. Okay, so that same exact. I mean, the chemtrail didn't look different. The scene didn't look different. The bus was exactly the same. Everything was the same. The intersection, everything. How long it took, everything exactly the same. So it was just an exact repeat of that segment. So he gave it to me twice, and then he also gave me the one where I was taking a nap and it like shot out of the light fixture on the ceiling. So excuse me, I believe God's trying to tell me that they're manipulating the weather. I mean, they could probably manipulate it right over the roof of your house, and like that specific. Okay, so they're using the utility poles with the chemtrail somehow. There's a connection there. And I know in my area a few months ago, over the summer, PG&E put out a couple different notices. They're going to be working on the poles. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffed up right now. A nice white blanket I wake up to every morning. Yeah, they were working on the utility poles, and then they put out a flyer that they were over 250 something, I don't know, 300 light posts they were putting LED lights in. And I'm not going to go into all that. You can go look up the LED light thing for yourself. But, I mean, they're already listening to you and watching you. I mean, I'll be just literally, but I'll just be in my little room, okay? All the windows closed, nobody can hear me, and I'm talking quietly to myself, and I'm just writing my little grocery list, and I say something specific, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. And then I'll go to watch a YouTube video or check my email or whatever on the computer, and there's gonna be an ad or a video or something of what I just said, okay? And this isn't something that I wrote in the title on a video. This isn't something that I just said to my neighbor. This isn't something that anyone overheard me say. This isn't something that I typed into a Google search, okay? The only way they could have did that is if they were listening, okay? I always have my camera covered, but, yeah, So, but I already know that, so a lot of times I'll want to talk out loud to myself and say, oh yeah, okay, I'm talking to my son, all right, Zoe, we're gonna go hiking at the whatever on one of these days this week at whatever time we want to. So just, especially when I didn't even know I had Morgellons and how easily they were all over the place all the time. But yeah, now that none of that is happening, but it just, they're listening all the time through your phone, through your, even if your phone's turned off, who knows how they're doing. Okay, they could send a satellite signal, this, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know all the science. I don't care to know it. But I just had to report that because God gave me that dream again. So obviously it was important, and he wanted me to share it because he reminded me of it because when he gave it to me the first time and that other little one, I didn't talk about that because I didn't understand it, but I checked in with the boss man and he said, you don't have to understand it, which he's been kind of telling me a lot lately, so there's a Bible verse, I might do them separately, separate from this video for sure, but separate from each other, because one was through a dream, a word that was given to me in between like waking up and getting up, and then one was one that I randomly pulled on Friday that I was gonna share. I won't do videos. Try to be really strict actually about the Sabbath, but I wanted to share it yesterday and didn't get to it. Had my hands full a little bit because I like to share them on Sunday and have my sacred day Saturday, and usually I pull the verse on Friday before or right as Shabbos is beginning. So, and it just synchronized with a bunch of things that I just touched on, and it was Ecclesiastics 8, so I'll share that later. And then a word that God gave me that led me to Exodus 32:32, talking about God's registry, and he gave me the Hebrew. He said registry specifically. So in the Bible it says God's book of life, but it's okay. So however, that's how he's talking to me. So maybe this 10/11 means December 11th. Okay, because he's like, well, now that you're kind of familiar with the Hebrew and you know there's a Hebrew calendar and a Hebrew Bible and who you are and Hebrew, yeah. So maybe 10/11 could have meant October 1st too, because 10/11 is 10/11, which would be October 1st, 2017, with everything reduced, but, October would be a 1. I mean, I don't know. So, I'm just saying it could possibly be something with, because when he gave me 10/11, I'm like, it's either October 11th is what I felt really in my heart, because it was an odd time, or it's December 11th, because now that I'm familiar, he won't give you things that you're not, unless he wants you to discover something, but he'll give it to you in a way that you'll be familiar with the link that he gives you, but it'll lead to something that you didn't know before or whatever. But so I believe that I just lost my train of thought, so yeah, I'm barely halfway through my first cup of coffee, so, or my, usually I only have one, but not every single day, but usually every day. What was I just, yeah, anyway, so yeah, it could be something with December 11th, so he could have given me the Hebrew 10/11, which would be December, 10 October, November, December, yeah. So anyway, we'll see. I'll be surprised if I'm still here, people are still here by like January 1st, and we start next year. I'm gonna really be surprised. I'm gonna be like, really? Okay, whatever, I'm surrendered to your will, God, but I'm just, okay, yeah, okay, let's do this then. Let's do that, whatever your will is, that thing. But I feel like it's so soon. I don't know anything, and I'm not a date person. If God gives me a number, I'll just share it and just share my interpretation. I don't try to go off, get too imaginative with it, but yeah, I really would be surprised, but I mean, I'm not surprised, because we can't put limitations on God, so, because that's actually vanity, and that's in Ecclesiastics 8. I'll share that in another video. I just wanted to leave that. I just didn't want to make this one too quick. Just wanted to God put it on my heart that was important with the chemtrail and utility pole connection, how they're manipulating things somehow, and with these microwave radiation fires in the area that I'm from, Sonoma County area, Napa, California, the whole area. I've lived in probably every town in Sonoma County, including Sonoma. and and then all the fires that were surrounding me where I live right now. So, yeah, I checked in with my best girl. Left a message on my dad's phone, which probably was the best, because he's, those narcissistic tendencies. So angels were set that up perfectly, because I just needed to let the people that I talk to in my life, which are only 3 people that I don't even really talk to. I mean, my best friend, I have 2 best friends. One I'll talk to on the phone, the other one she just texts, and I mean, she's gone through like cancer and 3 boyfriends and whatever since whatever, she can only text me. I mean, I've known her since we were sophomores in high school. She's just not comfortable, probably because she's not awake. I get that from like my mom and a lot of people in my family, hence why I only talk to my dad. Because he can handle the Jesus thing, and he knows all about just the flat earth, more gallons. Thank you, I love my dad. But anyway, yeah, I told these 3 people I'm going into solitude for an indefinite period of time. It may be the last time you even hear from me. I don't know, but I need you to know one thing, that Jesus is the way. Please come to him now. It's really easy. All you have to do is say, I repent, and truly be repentant, okay? And just ask Jesus to please come live in your heart and take over your life. And just show you every day. What you need to do. It doesn't even need to be, it's just, I repent, okay? And mean it and feel it and know that. And when you ask Jesus, please come live in my heart, take over my life. Feel it, mean it, know it. And I told her, I said, and then add whatever you want, And I said, and I would do that tonight, maybe with your husband and your child and as many people in your family that can stand it. And even if you're not sure, just do that, okay? Do the prayer first. Just do that first, even if you're not sure. And then say, Jesus, I don't want to, I feel crazy, because I don't even know if you're real and I'm talking to you, okay? But we're going to do this, okay? I feel silly. This is ridiculous. I feel ridiculous. I feel like a hypocrite, whatever. But hey, if you're real, come to me tonight in my dream and astonish the crud out of me. So I jump out of bed, crying, heaving breath, and just am so moved and astonished by your presence that they just instantly become a believer. So I just prayed that for all these people. And I said, Jody, just even if you don't, and she's been raised in the church her whole life. Her kid goes to like a Christian school. She worked at Sunday school when we were in high school. I mean, and I just kept hearing through her voice, like, so downtrodden, just like life. Like she didn't even know what the RFID chip is. I mean, it's just, oh my God. I'm like, I said, do you know what the RFID chip and all this stuff? And she said no. And I thought the phone crackled or something. I said, did you say no? Because I couldn't believe that she said no. Because she knows of a couple things like Dolores Cannon and stuff. But I'm like, so she needs to know Jesus. So I told her about it. Same with my dad, left him a message. And then with my other best friend, the only other person that I have contact with as far as past friends, family, whatever. So I texted her, talked to the one, left my dad a message. So now my conscience is free and clear now that I shared the dream that God wanted me to share. And then it'll be even more clear when I share the Bible verses next. So, and then I'm going to maybe separate the two because God's Registry, the Book of Life, I kind of want to give that its own little segment and kind of break up the two, not make them too long, because I know when it's Bible stuff, I barely get any views as it is. So, all right, that's 20 minutes. We'll leave that there. I love you guys. Peace be upon you all, and blessings to each and every one of you.